clients spend significant amounts of time on a daily basis reviewing those notices. And a lot of it's actually spent filtering out the noise, as it were, filtering out the things that they're not interested in. The first use case that we focused on is just being able to filter that noise, being able to know that you're going to see all the things that matter, but not have to spend time looking at all the things that don't. And then from there, working into how we can help them understand the actual impact of that change and what's going to happen downstream. You know, we're talking somewhere in the region of probably an 80% improvement in terms of time.
What is the difference between your AI and adding any AI to this problem?
I like to use the analogy of a graduate, or if you hired a graduate to do this, you wouldn't just give them a notice and say, tell me if this is going to impact me or not. And that's similar to if you just plug it into a chatbot. You have to give it context and structure to work within. What we've spent a lot of time on is building that context. So rather than just putting in a notice and saying, is this going to impact us? You say, right, here's all the exchanges we trade, and here's how we classify them. And here's the changes that we care about, and here's how we classify them. And now, based on that, tell me how this notice falls into those categories and falls into those changes. So it's really about that context. So we're not asking them to determine what the exchange is, we're asking them to categorize it based on a set of predetermined factors that we provide.
What have early customers told you about the business impact?
Everyone's different. Everyone cares about different exchanges. Everyone cares about the changes that happen and the way they're formatted and what's going to happen downstream. We talk about the fact that we build a platform, not a product. We don't provide one specific output. We provide tools for clients to define their own output. What changes do they care about? Down to the exchange level, down to the source level. So it's really building that platform architecture so that firms can go in and configure their own business logic. And I think that's where we're seeing that strong product market fit, because it bridges the build and buy. Build or buy, it bridges it into buy to build.
Why is AiMi's exchange connectivity and data plumbing more crucial than better AI?
It is an area where there is no defined standard as it is. Every exchange is publishing in a different way. They're communicating about things in different ways. They're talking about things in different ways. And a lot of that experience right now is in people's heads. You know, this is niche. You've got specific people inside of organizations that understand this. And what we're trying to do is help them transfer that knowledge into something that is repeatable and can scale alongside them.
What's your vision for AiMi in the next 2 to 3 years?
When we think about the capital markets infrastructure lifecycle, we focused on change management initially because I think that's a real challenge. But there's challenges across the lifecycle. There's challenges in terms of how do you rapidly access new markets and bring them on, or new data sources and bring them on. How do you optimize what you've got to be the most efficient from a performance perspective, from a cost perspective, etc. So we see ourselves spreading across that full life cycle, from being able to bring new things on to being able to offboard legacy services as well, being able to manage that whole cycle in a much more efficient way than historically, which often goes in 3-year bust or boom capex cycles, and really keeping that ongoing OPEX optimization across the organization.